Here's a short explanation of the controls and settings in Battlefield 1 on the PlayStation 4. For those of you who've got Battlefield 4, you can pretty much copy the sensitivity ratings from your previous setup from Battlefield 4 to Battlefield 1 and you'll be well away. Right, soldier stick sensitivity, that's basically your hip fire turn rate and turn speed. You set that to how you're comfortable when you're running around. Vehicle stick sensitivity, I would go from 20 to 23%. I say 23% because in the attack fighters, you want a little bit more of an edge.
We have lost objective
on the
Duff.
turn rate, so you want to turn it up a bit from the initial 20%. Soldier zoom sensitivity, that is iron sights upwards, anything aimed down sights. So as a minimum, you want to be comfortable at pistol shooting range or with the shortest zoom level. So that'd be equivalent to what it was on Battlefield 1 iron sights. Battlefield 4, sorry. 61% works well with me. Soldier steady scope. I used to have it on hold on Battlefield 4, but I'm finding while you're laying prone or whatever you're doing in this and you've got scope, single press and it'll keep it steady until you run away or you press it again. That's up to you. Control schemes, one or two of these I altered. Transport buttons, I don't know why they're pretty much the same as ground vehicles and everything else in the altered state. The fire button moves on default, it accelerates and it's completely different to the other vehicle setup, so I put that to alternate. Horse buttons, I think that was, I would rather have, yeah, the R3 button, I put that on alternate for the look left and right for your shoulder or what side you're going to swing your sword. You don't need another melee attack button down there when R2 doubles as melee, so I went alternate on that. In advance, I don't touch any of them zoom levels, not initially anyway. I don't think I'm ever going to bother with them, but plane control, I leave all of them fairly set for the moment. Vehicle aim relative control, aim. Right, vehicle aim relative control. With that on, where you're aiming at, when you drive forward and back, the base of your vehicle will turn to that direction. I don't like it doing that, so I turn that off so I can strafe around targets in a tank with the gun aimed sideways, and it's not going to affect which direction I'm driving. And the decouple aiming from turning, that also in the off position. You can, when you turn your tank, your turret will turn with you, so it's locked to the base of the tank. It helps to, if you're turning left and you're rotating your turret left, you can bring the turret round onto target quickly, but while you're driving it's not so great for gunning while driving. That's a preference for people as well. Uniform soldier aiming, yeah, turn this on. This is extremely useful. In Battlefield 4, it was bought in halfway through Battlefield 4's life, and it basically meant that if you had what was it, the side mounted iron sights, I can't remember what they were called. If you had that and you had like a 4x scope and you were switching between the two, this would help smooth the speed between the two because they're at two different zoom levels, so it didn't feel really edgy. This eliminates it. And also it adds in this option. It activates the coefficient option, which basically, adjusting that number, it caps off the maximum turn rate at higher zoom levels. So instead of individually setting each one of these buggering options, all you've got to do is adjust your slider. And that coefficient level, 34%, that's what I had at Battlefield 4. I've not had any issues with it as of yet. That really works well. But I've not come across any 10x zoom scopes yet. I think the maximum I've come up to is a 4x. So if I get a 10x scope on one of my weapons, and I decide it's too slow, I will up the rate, or if it's too fast, I will lower the rate. And it should govern across all zoom levels then. You haven't got to mess around with them too much. What was in the last? Yeah, and as I say, the soldier zoom sensitivity, that caps off the slowest speed at the lowest zoom level. So you've got one for the lowest zoom level and one for the highest zoom level there, without having to do any of that. Right, and then gameplay wise, what was in here? I hope they fix this inventory. Show player infantry when active, or show hide always. I would like it on show always, but it doesn't bloody work properly in the game just yet. It either does it one game and it doesn't the next. So you're better off with when active. So when you switch your guns with a triangle button, it will show you what weapon you've got, what kit you've got. So it will remind you which buttons on the D-pad you push, and it will, if you're a sniper, it will show you your zoom level. And also it will show you your fire mode, so if you're in single or multiple fire mode. But as I say, that show doesn't work completely. I wish it did, because it's also very useful in fighter jets, fighter planes, because it will show you your secondary, what do you call it? The active slot on the left D-pad on the fighter. It gives you a quick heal or a boost heal when you get shot, but with it when active, it doesn't show you that ability exists. I don't think. I only discovered it because I put it on show and I was lucky enough for it to come up on screen. But until they fix that, when active is the best option, because you've only got one weapon on the fighter plane. You can't push the triangle button to switch for it to highlight, so firing your gun doesn't bring nothing up. What else have we got in here that's worthy of mentioning? Let's keep going. Yeah, flight zoom radius. I moved that to the maximum 500. What it does is your little mini map in the bottom left corner, it will increase what's shown on the map. So if you're flying over areas, you want to see where people are, so you can key on them early and dive bomb them. I did the same with a vehicle zoom radius. I just put it up, but I only matched the on foot zoom radius. I messed around with that so I could see more of the map and who was in the vicinity, but until it was still clear to me. Otherwise, going above 150, it sort of become garbled and I couldn't see what was going on. I didn't touch minimap size. Stationary weapons, I put it to all so you can see everything on the map that's mountable or usable. It brings up the, if you only got it on heavy, you don't see any of the jeeps and things like that are on the map, and you don't know they exist until you've played the game a little bit more. But putting that onto all, that'll bring them into play on the map. Right, what else is in advance? I didn't touch any of this. There's only one thing to note that I don't know. Right, context-based order giving. When you're the commander of a squad and you're looking at a target and you're constantly pushing R1 to highlight them all over the map, in Battlefield 4, not Battlefield 1, the previous game, well, not the previous, it was Hardline, wasn't it? But you get the picture. Battlefield 4, when you run around tapping R1 with context-based order giving set to yes, it would say attack this target over and over again, and it'd get bloody annoying. But it doesn't seem to have the vocal effect on Battlefield 1. But it does still, if you're looking at a letter or a location on the map that's an attack point, it will highlight it over and over again and change your attack position. So if you put it into no, if that's a problem for you, you can, the only way to set attack location in would be to hold the R1 button and do it via the Comoros. It's like a circle selector, and you'd have to go in the menus and do it the slow way that way. But that's an option there. That's for anyone who's interested in that. I'll keep the aim assist on. Right, come out of this. This is all explained. Oh yeah, just to explain, yeah. The 1, 2, 3, those three options, they are to do with your mini-map size, how much it shows in detail. You zoom out with a higher number, and zoom in with a lower number, but it don't show you as much of your surroundings and who's on it, who's shooting, what have you. Let's come out of here. Audio, there's nothing in here worthy of mentioning. No. Video. Brightness. I turn the brightness right up.
An armored train
I've set my telly what it's been set at, and I just think it was really dark. Field of view. I did mess around with the field of view. Turning it up in number will increase what you can see left and right of you, but at the same time it will zoom out the centre, so everything in the centre of your field of view will become harder to see and at a further distance, which really bloody hinders you. I did stand in the corner of a room and mess around with it so I could see both walls left and right of me, and then I ran around with it and found that it was just too hindering, so I think I set that one back to the original setting. And the vehicle third person field of view, I turn that right up to maximum, so when you're looking in your third person mode you can see a lot of what's going on around you, but then when you switch back into the seat you go back to what it was at. I've not actually run in a tank and used third person view just yet, so I don't know if that setting's OP on what you see or what, but I always like to use a vehicle within it. Alien's field of view. Right, yeah, if you mess around with that and then you turn this on, it will apply that field of view to your aim down sights. I would suggest not turning that on. I'd keep that off, because when you aim down sights you want to be keyed in on what you're looking at. You want to zoom right in, don't you? And having that off, that will allow you to do that. And the motion blur, I don't want things clogging up my field of view. I turn that right off. And the same with the weapon DOF. Basically with that on, what it's trying to suggest is you're looking in the foreground. You're looking beyond the back of your gun, so the back of your gun will be blurred. But in reality, if you used to look at the back of your gun, it would not get blurred, and I don't want blurring on the screen, so you turn that off and all, don't you?
We have lost objective apples.
And that is how to set your game up, or that's how it's explained. And I'll just run around, do a little bit of fighting.
We have lost objective butter.
Oh yeah, and that initial 26% sensitivity, I worked that all out by running up and down staircases on Battlefield 4 of all games. Get the turn rate on the staircase and what felt comfortable in close quarters. You turn it up until you can deal with whoever's around you, but not look around into space randomly all over the place, sporadically, should I say. It's whatever you're truly comfortable with, but if you start turning that up beyond what it's at, beyond 26%, you'll notice that you're looking up and down more often than not. But at the end of the day, it's what you're comfortable with. What was I noting? Yeah, the vehicle sensitivity. I recommend 20% for the fighter jets, fighter planes, because they are really twitchy. But to get the edge on the competition, anyone else, if you're all running on 20%, your turn rate is going to be the same as the enemy planes are trying to fire at. And trying to get on his tail is going to be hard work. I noticed with a little bit of an edge, it's up to 21 to 23%. You can get on them and stay on them, but you may be a little bit twitchy. It's just getting used to it.
We have taken objective Charlie.
But I am loving this game. It definitely has benefited from Star Wars Battlefront's graphics engine. It's a shame that Star Wars Battlefront was such a shit heap. I was so disappointed when they didn't include flight controls that mirrored Battlefield, and the fact that the vehicles didn't spawn on the map, and I didn't see the dropship from the second movie. I mean, they could have done so much more, but then again, they were commissioned by Disney, so it weren't